49 months from today, your deposits could outrun your growth if you pick the wrong target. In a 10-year plan, the wrong monthly buys delays, not freedom. Stay with me. I'll give you your exact number before we close, down to the month, and I'll show the trap that ruins month 7 for most people. Meet Harry. He works night shift quality checking calls for a health insurer. Take-home lands at $2,987 each month after taxes and benefits. He's 34, tired of trading midnight energy for fluorescent lights, and he wants out in 10 years. Not someday. 10 years. The first question isn't returns. It's the price of the life he wants. Harry writes his real monthly life cost, not the social one. $1,131 for housing, $379 for food, $247 for transport, $119 for phone and data, $117 for insurance, $103 for everything fun. Total, $2,996. He blinks. That's more than his take-home. That gap explains the last 12 months of stress. Here's the stake. In 10 years, you either own your time or your expenses own you. The number you invest monthly is the lever between those futures. You'll get your number today, but first, the mechanism. It's simple, stubborn math. Forward progress in 10 years has 3 moving parts. What you spend, what you can add each month, what the money can earn above inflation. Think of it like a 3x3 grid. If any square collapses, the other 2 can't save the plan. People obsess over returns. Most lose the game on the spend square. Harry anchors his target the way old books suggest. Thomas Stanley wrote The Millionaire Next Door in 1996. His people weren't flashy. They set ceilings first and ignored neighbors. Harry borrows that attitude. He calls it his quiet ceiling. He aims for a life that costs $2,190 a month instead of $2,996. That's $806 lighter. Not from suffering, from picking a smaller apartment and cooking simple bulk meals twice a week. Now translate life cost to a portfolio target. If the life he wants costs $2,190 per month, that's $26,280 yearly. With a safe withdrawal of 4%, he needs about $657,000 saved. Call that the freedom number. Pause. You might be thinking, that still sounds huge. You're right. But this is where the monthly lever matters more than inspirational quotes. You don't have to climb the whole mountain today. You have to choose a monthly that the grid can support. Then keep it rising on a schedule that your brain accepts. Morgan Housel wrote The Psychology of Money in 2020. He kept finding the same pattern. People who stick with simple rules beat people who can't sit still. Harry uses that idea without naming it. He builds a rule that removes day-to-day decisions. He doesn't set automatic transfers on payday. That's the usual script. He does something weirder. On the first Wednesday night each month at 11:20 p.m. after the last utility bill posts, he runs a 10-minute auction. Dollars bid for jobs. Rent bids first, food second, transport third. If those bids are under ceiling, the leftover is pre-committed to investing, not a suggestion. A rule written on one index card taped inside a cabinet. The odd time locks it into memory. Let's add numbers. Harry starts with 263 invested in month 1. Month 2 climbs to 311. Month 3 pushes to 391. Month 4 breaks 479. Why these odd jumps? Because he uses a fixed staircase. Every new month adds 37 more than the last month unless life punches him. If it does, he pauses the extra 37 but never steps backward. By month 12, that pattern alone has him investing $813 monthly. The grid holds because the life ceiling stayed real. Where do returns fit? Keep it conservative. Aim for 5% real growth after inflation, not fairy tale returns. Your number will work at that boring setting. If reality does better, you win early. If it does worse for a year, the staircase covers the gap because contributions keep rising. You came for your exact monthly. Here's how to get it. Step 1. Price your life honestly. Not what you wish, what your card statements prove. Step 2. Choose the quiet ceiling life you'd accept for a decade. Step 3. Multiply that annual cost by 25 to estimate portfolio need. Step 4. Set a conservative real return like 5%. Step 5. Use a 12-month ramp to your monthly contribution, then a quarterly bump rule to keep it growing without drama. Harry's ramp looks like this. Months 1 through 3, smaller wins to train the habit. Months 4 through 6, heavier steps. Months 7 through 9, hold steady because most people quit there. Month 10 through 12, resume the staircase. Then every quarter tick the monthly up by another odd 37. Those moves are tiny but relentless. That's the point. Watch the math. With an average of 1,370 in year 1, 1,900 in year 2, 2,400 in year 3, and continuing staircase increases, Harry's 10-year total contributions land near 283,000. At 5% real growth, compounding pushes the portfolio toward that 657,000 freedom line by year 10 or 11, depending on any side raises he captures. The grid carried more weight than the market. I promised the month 7 trap. People design perfect plans, then month 7 punches them. A car repair, a friend's wedding, a bad week. They call the plan broken. It isn't. The plan expected punches. The fix is a shock pocket. Harry keeps a 3-month shock pocket separate from investing. He builds it first with the same staircase until it holds 6,537. After that, all new staircase steps go to investing. When life throws a repair, he spends from the shock pocket, then refills it before adding new investing jumps. Progress slows, never reverses. Midway through his 3rd year, something clicks. The portfolio's growth months start beating his new deposits. That's the psychological turning point. He doesn't feel like he's pushing a car uphill anymore. The hill starts helping. The graph bows. Here's the part nobody tells you, and it's the best reveal. If you chase higher returns to make the monthly smaller, the plan gets fragile. But if you shrink the life ceiling even a little, the monthly drops a lot with zero fragility added. Spending is the strongest lever. Investment returns are loud but less controllable. Behavior is quiet and fully controllable. That's how the people in those old books did it. It still works in modern life. Harry proves it with a small test. For 1 quarter, he tries increasing return assumptions on paper from 5 to 7%. It cuts his monthly by only a couple hundred. Then he rolls back the return and instead trims one expense category by $89 and shifts to a used car with lower insurance, freeing $123 monthly. Those 2 decisions lower his required monthly by more than the higher return ever did, and there's no extra risk. He keeps the boring 5% target and the smaller life ceiling. The plan hardens instead of stretching. Okay, you want the number for your life. Do this with me quickly. Write your acceptable life cost per month. Multiply by 12. Multiply by 25. That's your freedom number. Choose 5% real return. Now decide a staircase that gets your contributions from where you are to a number that hits your target in 10 to 12 years. Start tiny if you must. 37 more than last month is enough. Guard month 7 with a shock pocket. Those are the mechanics. What should Harry invest into? Keep it simple. An index fund is like a Netflix bundle for companies. Pay once and own tiny slices of thousands at the same time. He uses a low-cost broad market fund for the core and a small bond fund to steady his sleep. He doesn't tinker. He doesn't time. He only raises the monthly on his calendar schedule. That's the whole edge. If you're brand new, the app steps aren't scary. Open an investing app you trust. Search for a total market fund. Tap Invest. Choose the dollar amount you can live with this month. Pick a day you won't forget. I like first Wednesday because it feels strange. Confirm. That's it. Next month, add 37. 3 months later, add another 37. You're building a staircase, not sprinting a marathon. Let's look at Harry's year by year, so you feel the rhythm. Year 1 ends with 8,962 invested and 9,384 in value. Year 2 contributions reach 22,600 and value pushes to 24,819. Year 3, he crosses 42,000 value, not because markets were wild, but because staircase steps kept arriving. By year 5, his contributions total 106,000, and the portfolio reads 124,000. He's not celebrating yet, but the car is moving downhill now. Obstacles kept appearing. Month 15. His laptop died. 537 to replace. He paused a staircase step that month, took from the shock pocket, and resumed the next month. Month 22. A dental bill hit for 341. Same play. Pause the extra, never step backwards. Month 31, he received a small raise. He captured half for life, half for the monthly. That capture rule mattered more than hot stock tips. By year 7, he checked a number that stunned him. That month's growth exceeded that month's deposit by a hair. The snowball wasn't theory anymore. He took a walk at 3:06 p.m. on a quiet Sunday and laughed in the cold. It felt real because it was math, not hype. 10 years is both long and shorter than you think. The secret is to make the next 12 months easy and boring. Then repeat that boring year 9 more times. Boring builds freedom. Exciting builds anxiety. Choose boring. Now, your exact monthly. There isn't one number for everyone, there's one for you. If your target life costs $2,000 per month, you'll want roughly $600,000 invested. At 5% real return, a rising staircase that averages around $2,500 monthly across the decade gets you there. If your life costs $1,500, target about $450,000. Then a staircase averaging around $1,800 reaches it. If your life costs $3,000, your target becomes about $900,000, and a staircase averaging near $3,900 is required. These aren't guesses, they're the grid translated to plain speech. If those numbers feel heavy, remember the 2 easy levers. Lower the life ceiling by a small amount and the monthly drops a lot. Raise income deliberately and dedicate only the raise to the plan. You don't need to suffer, you need a staircase that never goes down. One last thing, don't wait for perfect. Pick a small first step tonight. 37 more than last month. Choose an odd time your brain won't forget. Maybe 10-12 p.m. Tape the rule where you'll see it when you're tired. When month 7 swings, expect it. Use the shock pocket. Resume the next month. 10 years from tonight, you'll either thank the staircase or wish you'd started it. Build the quiet ceiling. Run the monthly auction. Keep the odd staircase rising. Your exact number lives inside that grid. And the day you hit it, you won't feel lucky, you'll feel free.